I didn't want to think like something was wrong with me. I didn't want to think like that. I didn't want the doctors to know that I was a sick person or like that. I really regret it. Because hiding yourself from your own sickness and not telling anyone about it is just too much.
Did a very nice presentation. Take a seat here, please, John. So this whole issue in our community is emerging, isn't it? Well, it's almost emergent, because we have about 50 women go through our labour ward every 24 hours. And TB is a major problem, because as your immune system goes down, the TB bugs are much more likely to get a hold in your body. The main reason we can control TB is we get people on effective treatment and they take it for the full duration of their therapy, not just until they feel better.
Excuse me. So if you haven't seen the tablet, then this is what it looks like. It's so huge. Sometimes I feel like it's just a toy or something I'm trying to swallow. I have to think about it when it's like 9 months. Taking the same pills for 9 months is like too much, but yeah, I have to take it no matter what.
Please do.
A little bit, like I like spicy stuff.
Our patient Vicky came to our labour ward with her TB condition undiagnosed. She hadn't told us about all these symptoms, so we hadn't investigated her, and she was in labour. And so we noticed that her baby was small, it had not grown well, and during the labour it became distressed. Vicky was booked for a cesarean section. This happened in the middle of the night, which is not unusual. But in the process of repairing the uterus and closing the operation site, this doctor noticed that there was a lot of abnormal tissue around, sticking the bladder very firmly to the front of the uterus and making it difficult to separate the bladder, because that's where we actually take the baby out. And in the process of removing the bladder from the front of the uterus, the bladder was damaged.
was admitted on the 25th. So when she came in, she was in the latent phase of labor with breech presentation. Pain stopped in the
Yeah.
No pain. No. Okay, sorry. So.
And so just feel heavy on you.
So I'm low. When am I feeling heavy?
It's like when I'm trying to turn around and it's like
And the wound
is
pain.
no.
So initially
Vicky was clearly going to be around for a month or more. Because of the undiagnosed, untreated TB that was in her abdomen that we cut through to get to the baby, the whole wound became infected with TB. We spread the TB into the wound, and the wound then didn't heal up. So clearly Vicky was going to be around for a long time.
It was after the secondary closure actually. I was feeling a little cold because the fans were still on full blast. So I said, oh, I should go and get some vitamin D. So I got up. And then I felt like I was a little bit heavy. My eyes were already going black. And then all of a sudden I was already on the ground.
I always enjoy the little launch trip from Port Moresby to Gemo Island. It reminds me each time of my first morning years ago in New Guinea, when I was fresh from England, a stranger in these tropics only 9 degrees south of the equator.
When I was a medical student and young doctor, we used to isolate the TB patients on Gemo Island in the harbour here in Port Moresby. So that's ward number 4, that's ward number 5, 6, 7. In those days we had to give 2 years of treatment. And then we developed more effective TB drugs which allowed us to shorten the span of treatment to 6 months. So that was good but bad because these new drugs are so effective. They knock off 99% of the TB bacteria in 1 month or something, and you just feel normal. You feel as though you've been cured. The problem today is we have not controlled TB. We have more TB today than we had when there was no drugs, which is pretty pathetic, you'd have to say. And the problem is we can't get the people to take the drugs for the full duration of treatment to eradicate the bacteria. And this is a failure of counselling, I would say, a failure of doctor-patient relationship and counselling. We are very, very smart as doctors in our diagnostic skills and doing the diagnostic bit of doctoring. But we are not good at the follow-through. We just allocate the treatment to the community health workers and the junior nurses, and then we ignore the patient who's on treatment. So when you're a doctor, please don't just be fancy diagnosticians, be effective doctors, which means you need to treat ensure that your patients get the proper treatment for the duration that they needed to get rid of their disease.
TB is the leading cause of admission in our hospital. So out of, let's say, 10, 11 admissions, you would look at 6, 7, 8 is more related to TB.
Okay. So Solomon bin Qasim,
They're too sick to move around, so that's why they come, meaning they've already spread TB in the community. Not just here in Port Moresby, but in the rest of the country as well. So that's the kind of trend we are seeing.
so time is like come up now, Solomon. Yeah, you sing out him some place doctor lo come looking ma'am too. Or?
Yes.
Okay.
So em sem buman blomi em kam looking. So,
Okay, em plan man sabe lo place
yes,
Dr. Boka.
em no bin sem just looking mem tasol.
Okay. You play bin buy him some glass man lo try and find him out lo who said he like bagrapi ma'am or something called same.
Em lo mas 2 weeks go finish lo em tasol em one pla query tasol em la em kam lo ya. Tok sabe lo mi pla lo sampla se custom side.
Oh, Solomon stop finish lo
yeah,
boat.
em stop em lo dis la munta so I mean yeah.
No visitors.
Luki mem na em sem tok sabe lo mi plo sem no good sem spirit plo em go drive so sem si kisi mem lo wara out sem dis la kain tintin all got. Yeah.
Okay.
So mi pla still stop here.
So the young man, I think it is, that we saw clearly has brain damage, and his mother was telling us the story that she took him to village doctors, traditional healers, or glassman, lo paini maut lo sick, and so then she brought him to the hospital in this really debilitated condition, but he's already got brain damage, so in spite of 6 months TB treatment, he hasn't improved very much. Because the TB treatment does not repair your brain. It does not repair anything. It just kills the TB bacteria so that it doesn't do any more damage. The TB medicine does not help your body repair the damage already done. What's done is done, sorry. We spend a lot of time convincing the TB patients that they have TB rather than some customary induced illness, or it's due to some sangoma or something or other. And one lady you met was the lady with the TB of the spine, who was absolutely convinced that her disease was a customary disease that had been put upon her by those who wanted to do her damage.
So Peggy Wynn is, she's a 40-year-old and this is her 5th pregnancy. And we diagnosed her as having TB of the spine. She initially came in with lower limb paralysis, was unable to walk, had some other symptoms like night fevers, anorexia, weight loss. So we started her on TB treatment, but I guess she wasn't convinced, so she absconded from the ward. So she went home to see a witch doctor.
Yeah, one man me give me 500 kina. One man me give me 250. One man me give me 50 kina. Allah tu married to come for a long me give me one blow 240 kina too. What's the money is that? Into one me a place, one number two and good all possible you this la kainnya. Belum barau sim this la leg lo yin this la kainnya me give me all three give me na me give me mista. Leg one pen lo gonna pen ye. Pen ye there no stop pen ye. Oh three give me na me give me mista.
With regards to our patient here, I think she was desperate. She wanted to get help somehow. So when we gave her the diagnosis of TB, probably we didn't explain it the first time, so that's why she wasn't really convinced that she had that disease, so she wanted to get a different opinion from other people. So Peki, one am sick below you?
Maybe
Amas moon by you kissing marasin?
6 months. 6 months.
By you kissing every day or some day by you miss him not? Some day by you kissing?
Every day by mixing.
Now suppose you know kissing marasin every day lo 6 months, one is something back come up you.
In Bandai. In Bandai.
Dad. Ipuatok sa akin, raina kadawa inumay. Matau ba umay? Pere discharge may tau ba ukoy kadawa in video kun gaurawa. Rama parali puno viral kapure pikiyar la no pikawa ikwara. Maybe 12 o'clock. Bye.
What did you call?
My small dad. Actually, I told him we are on our way to the house, and I told him to let every children know to at least stay under the house and wait for me.
Okay, so everything that we went through, I've tried to summarize everything, and it's in here. Your date of delivery, date me pa make him Caesar, your TB treatment, and you started here.
Yeah,
So it's
9
gonna go on.
months.
Yeah, it's gonna go on for 9 months. So just you have like a week or a couple of days supply still with you. You make sure you can collect in Narapla. Anyways, this is your review date. So that's
16th of
next week
March.
Friday.
So
Okay, that's it. It's been a long ride, huh?
Yeah.
That's it for us. Good to know you for all this time, and it's nice to see that you are living now.
Yeah,
Finally.
true, finally.
All right.
Morning, Vicky.
Morning.
Morning. Morning, Mummy Vicky. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Baby's breastfeeding well?
Yep.
So you're getting to the time when going home now? Going
Yeah.
home? We're just going to check and make sure it's the wound is okay after the extra stitches you needed. So can you lie down and we'll put the screen. So generally you're feeling okay, eating okay.
Yeah.
Please, you're right. No got koos.
No.
You're right. Huh? Okay, stand lately. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, there's just a little bit discharge on this side here. Yeah, but it's looking pretty good. So when was this dressing put on?
Last night.
Oh,
I mean
okay.
yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay. So we'll need to put a new one on before you go
Yep.
home. Yes. And give you some stuff to put a new dressing on
Yeah.
at home for Thursday and then come back on Friday to the clinic. So I'm just going to go through the, let me help you up so we can have the last. Okay. So last talk, yeah?
Yep.
Kind talk, you say walking more at the time, yeah?
Yeah. Dr. Mola, I made a mistake because I didn't tell the doctors and the nurses when I was coming for my clinic checkups the way I was feeling at home
Yeah.
and the symptoms I got.
Yeah.
I didn't like tell the nurses
Yeah.
about it, but now that I've realized and I've experienced it, I have to tell my little ones, I mean my little siblings actually, about it, that like whatever that they are feeling inside, especially when they are sick, they have to tell the doctors or
And
the
don't
nurses.
be frightened.
Don't be frightened.
And also tell them, please don't get pregnant until you really want the baby. Instead. And then, but from Vicky's point of view, because she had the operation and because the TB was in there, she needs to space for her own benefit. She needs to space the next pregnancy by at least 5 years. And we're very fortunate to have this wonderful family planning implant available now. They're just fantastic. And you don't have to do anything for 5 years. The medicine of the implant just seeps out of the little capsule, some people call it gumi or something. It just prolongs the natural sleeping of the ovary for a longer period. Here we are.
And you were not convinced at the beginning, you were a little reluctant. Why were you reluctant?
I had rumors about it, so yeah.
What is the rumors back home? What are some of the women saying about it?
Severe headache, faints and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it doesn't cause severe headaches. I think women enjoy talking about these kind of, don't they? Women get together and they enjoy
like
talking about this.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's
Sometimes
a sort of women's thing a bit.
Yeah, they discourage you not to get it. Like,
Men don't talk about their family planning so much. They just boast about their sexuality. So what's what name Lusik you got longan, Vicky?
it's TB, pelvis TB.
Yeah, TB. Very serious but common disease in our country, unfortunately. And treatment? How much moon bagi mas kisi marsin for TB to finish good?
9 months.
9 months, that's right, 9 months. Good. And the last question is, when you start feeling well, which will be like after 2 or 3 months, you'll feel absolutely well. If you stop the treatment before your 9 months, like after 2 or 3 months when you're feeling well, what happens?
The TB will come back if I don't finish my treatment, and then maybe it will become worse when it comes back.
That's right.
And I might die.
Yes, that's true. So you're going to do that, or you're going to finish the medicine?
No, I have to finish the medicine.
Good on you. Thank you, Vicky. Okay, instead.
For the operation fee, 20 kina for admission and 20 kina for discharge. So total will be 240.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We'll go and leave these ones first and come back. Bye.
angry. I went back to the house and welcome to my home.
interstellare fino al centro della vita, fino al male che fa male, la ricerca più ostinata di quel bene esistenziale che è cercare di piacersi e di riuscire a fare in tempo. Io ci sono stato attento, ho provato a starci attento.